Hello, welcome to the Hypermobile Universe Head and Neck series. I am Bonnie Southgate, hEDS Rehab, and we are here, phase 3 of exercises for instability in the cervical spine and also Chiari malformation type 1. Hopefully, before you see this video, you will have looked and tried phase 1 and phase 2, and you're ready to progress to a book. We are going to take that TheraBand and throw it away, and we are taking a book. This increases our challenge because we now have a balance challenge for the cervical spine and we have a bit less feedback. This would be more of an open chain exercise. Now, you can use whatever book size you want. I've got a Harry Potter book here, and I think use a softback is probably a bit kinder, but you can judge what you're comfortable with on top of your head. So rather than just putting the book on top of your head, I usually cut a little tiny bit off my TheraBand when I finished with it. So I'm just going to pop that book on my head, and I'm just going to sit tall on my sit bones, and I'm going to sit tall with my head and neck positioned correctly. I can try and turn sideways so you can see that, and I can try and keep that book on my head. There we go. So I'm trying not to, I like to sit forward, so I'm going to sit myself back because all of those little movements underneath my head and neck will alter my head and neck position. I'm trying to teach myself what the optimal positioning will be for the head and neck. So that is the start of phase 3. And like in phase 2, we're going to continue with then taking it into more practical activities. I'm going to bring myself forward, and I'm going to try and stand up with that book on my head and balance it. I'm going from sitting to standing with that book on my head. I'm keeping that same sense that I had in the band of axial lengthening. I'm wanting to slide off to one side today, so it just shows you how we lack proprioception even when we're therapists and trainers with heads. From here, we can start to walk with the book, and I like to make sure that my clients are walking backwards and forwards. And then we just start with little balance exercises with the book, so I can start to shift onto one leg and just lift a heel, and I can shift onto the other leg and lift a heel, and then eventually I can try and balance on one leg with that book. And I can start to rotate my body, and I can also start to rotate my head very lightly, keeping that lift up into the book. So I'm not just balancing the book, but I'm trying to keep that axial lengthening upwards like I did before with my head. So we're going to take that book off now. This is phase 3, and the way that you would want to increase the difficulty would be to start to make that book heavier. So you can also buy weights on Amazon, and they're like bean bags, circular bean bags, which you have different weights if you feel that you want to increase the weight. It, for me, is not really about having a super heavy weight. The idea is that we're learning to just stabilize that head and to get some proprioception over our cervical spine, and to keep all of the blood flow and the cerebral spinal fluid flowing nicely between the head and the rest of the body. So that is the end of phase 3. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you found it useful. If you did, comment, like, subscribe, and share these videos. I am looking forward to seeing you for phase 4.